one of these TikTok gurus, there was a video I caught that has stuck in my mind because it just didn't make sense to me. I'm not going to say the person's name, but I remember they're talking about how smart they are with their money, and they made a comment saying, "Hey, uh, beginning of the year, as we're earning money, I knew we were going to earn some money that year. So it's like, I went and I bought a Lamborghini for the business. It was some high end car, or actually, it was like, might have been a G Wagon because I guess there's a tax implication that over a certain amount of weight in that vehicle, you can then depreciate the entire vehicle in the year. That's at least what was explained. And they're all kind of laughing about it. And then at the end of the video, he says, and then at the end of the year, I sold the car and got most of my money back. And then they all have a laugh and it ends. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, but if you sold the car, then that's income earned that you then have to claim. You didn't really alleviate the tax. Like that doesn't seem right to me. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I tell people all the time, your day-to-day car that you use can be used as a business write-off, but it's never 100%. So only people that have really heavy equipment or trucks that are dedicated towards the business can usually get away with that 100% write-off for the car at that point. The minute that you veer off and grab groceries on the way home or grab dinner for the family, you're off the clock at that point, and that's not a business expense. So
Yeah.
I usually tell people there is about usually 70 to 80% is a good rule of thumb that usually you're on the road enough for business if you're especially if you're going to see clients and working out of not in your home and going to their sites at that point. 70 to 80% of it could be business related, but the minute you veer off and grab groceries, or the minute that you go someplace that's not business related, it's never there. A front loader, a big heavy piece of equipment, again, 100% because you're not going to be putting a car seat in the back and taking the kids and getting ice cream or doing anything personal at that point. So those ones are
Maybe.
easily 100% write off, and personal ones 70%. But it's just a matter of there are so many apps and there are so many ways to kind of keep track of miles and time spent in the car that you can kind of estimate if you had 10,000 miles over the course of a year and you can justify and you kept track of it and you have 7,500 miles that you spent, then obviously 75% of that time is spent business related. But usually personal cars run into problems that it's never 100%. You can take that percentage of the depreciation and you can take that percentage of expenses during the course of the year in that example that you brought up, that they can do, but they would have had an expense at the beginning of the year and then they would have had an income at the end of the year. The two of them potentially might have been offset because, again, the minute you drive a car off the lot, obviously depreciation and value goes way down. So it might have worked out for the numbers for that particular situation. But I just tell people as a rule of thumb, it's never 100% within their business for a car, but it could be anywhere from 75 to 80% depending on, again, what they do. If you're working from home and you never visit clients, then obviously it's a different story. But again, everyone's situation is slightly different and you got to find what works for you. And again, not set any red flags off of the IRS so that they're coming and checking and seeing what's going on.